What's going on, family? It's your girl Guruji Chastity, and we are back. Okay, today I want to talk about the destructive nature of negative thinking. Okay, this is really important. Thinking is living, and living is thinking. In Latin, man means mind. Mind is nothing more than thinking. Thinking is nothing more than asking questions 24/7, and reality is the answer to those questions. And so this is something that we absolutely need to talk about, because if our actual experience, if our actual reality only exists based on the thoughts that we think, let me get into the why I created this video. So the destructive nature of negative thinking, the reason why we here right now, not only for what I just said, but because we have been conditioned to believe that the purpose of existence is physical achievement. Okay, and and when that isn't the reality, i.e. meaning that you struggle to achieve physically, the byproduct of believing that creates a shitstorm of negative thinking, which gets you stuck in a karmic loop. Okay, and so my idea or my purpose is to eradicate the misconception that it is your environment that creates how you feel. I need all my people to know that is not true. That is thinking that shows that you're locked inside your body, that you really only identify with the five senses. If you believe I am this body and then that's it, I need you to watch this, because we got to eradicate that thinking. Your environment does not create how you feel. How you feel creates your environment. So this is why I'm saying, if man means mind, and mind is thinking, and thinking is asking questions, and reality is the answer to those questions, if you're stuck in believing that you are this body, you're going to be asking a whole lot of shitty questions, and then the byproduct of those shitty questions, which is the answer, is going to be your reality. And then you're going to be out here stuck in karmic loops, to where people after you are going to be saying what we saying right now, which is, oh, I'm here to break generational curses. Why would you do that? If you corrected your error in thinking while you alive, you ain't gonna set up nobody else along in your generation to have to break some dumb shit that you did. Because that's all we doing. When we say breaking generational curses, all I'm doing is breaking the error of thinking of my people before me, of the conditioning before me. That's it. That's it. That's it. Okay? So let's get into really what's going on. The destructive nature of negative thinking. That's the name of the game. That's what we here to talk about. Habitual negative thought is the manuscript to the movie you see out of your eyes, and you experience it as reality. That is what that's why negative thinking is destructive, because your thoughts are the manuscript. Bae just told me, my partner is a writer. I said, Bae, what's the difference between a manuscript and a script? She said, a manuscript is not meant to be said out loud, but a script is when we start saying things out loud. So a podcast, a video, things like that, right? But it go from rough draft, a manuscript, to a book. You are writing the book of your life as your manuscript, right? But if your manuscript is full of errors, is full of broken sentences, is full of incomplete thoughts, it ain't no rhyme or reason to the writing, ain't no plot, ain't no climax, it's just written all kind of crazy mumbo jumbo, the book gonna be trash, bro. And you know what? Somebody, i.e. God, gonna throw that book down and say, go do that again, go rewrite that for me. Next time, take your time, slow down, big boy. You see what I'm saying? And so the destructive nature of habitual thinking is this. If you habitually think negatively, and thinking is not just thinking. Thinking is asking yourself questions, which is the manuscript of your life. If you spend your time thinking about negative, dumbass, bullshit ass, traumatic ass, chaotic ass, violent ass questions, it is going to come out as your life. So the destructive nature is this. If you think negatively. You just live in a loop of you just live in a bootleg movie all the time. That's it. You live in a bootleg movie all the time, and you believe that to be true. You believe that that's your life. It is what it is, and ain't nothing I can do to change it. That is when you stuck inside your body, when you've been conditioned to believe that this is just the way it is, and you don't feel inside yourself a knowing that there's always more. There's always something better, right? You just allow yourself to believe this life, this inherited. You know, this how I'm big bone because it run in my family. Like, bruh. Ugh. Right? Number 2, the second destructive nature of negative thinking is that, here's the T, family. You don't have to go out of your way to have bad experiences. I ain't never seen nobody go outside and say, ooh, I'm going to try to make bad shit happen to me today. Nobody does that. Nobody does that. It's your thinking that does that. Right? And so, just as you think just as you think shitty thoughts, and you don't have to go out of your way for shitty things to happen to you, you can think positively and allow positive things to happen to you, and you don't have to go out of your way for positive things to happen to you. Okay? Because that's how, this is a video game, and that's how the game works. Whatever you think, you got to see it. You gotta see it. Otherwise, the game gonna overheat. It's gonna freeze. It's gonna crash, right? Because the game, the vehicle, the experience of the game is just how the rules work. You know, when you playing 2K, when you press the X button, that pass the ball. When you press the circle button, that shoot the ball. When you hit the square, that dunk the ball. When you think the thoughts, when you press the X button that says thought, and you press the circle button that say look, and you press the square button that say receive. It's just the way it works. And so it becomes a destructive game. You start to play in the destructive nature side of the game if you only ask shitty questions. And this is the peril of it. This is what you risk, right? And so dis-ease and discomfort is created through habitual thought. Okay? Oh, I can't believe I wrote that. So again, dis-ease. I'm saying disease, but I'm saying it in the proper way. Dis-ease and discomfort come from a mismanagement of your emotions. And you would say, well, how you get that, sis? Well, if you've been thinking negatively, the thought come first, and then you generate an emotion, right? You got, so manifestation is twofold, cause and effect. Sentence and emotion. The cause is the sentence. The feeling is the effect. You see what I'm saying? There is no manifestation. The manifestation is the cause and the effect together, and now we experiencing whatever the fuck it is, but that's the manifestation. And you can't have cause and effect without the other, which means you can't have a thought without the feeling. But if you're running around having shitty thoughts, you're going to generate shitty feelings. If you sit around eating poison or living in poison, you are going to experience dis-ease and discomfort as a byproduct of the mismanagement of your emotions. And the reasons why you're mismanaging your emotions is because you're overcrowded with negative thinking. And so you have one negative thought and you try to tuck it away over here, but that feeling's still a brewing. And so now we got some dark shit growing over here, and then you get another thought, and then another thought, and another thought, and it just keeps on coming. And that is what we mean by karmic loops. That's what we mean by feeling stuck, right? And so it's simple, family. Man means mind. Mind means thinking. Thinking is asking questions. Reality is the answer to those questions. And so if you want to remove yourself from the destructive nature of negative thinking, bring your awareness to what I just said. because then you can't play aloof. A lot of times we can say, well, shit, I didn't know I was thinking negatively because I didn't know what was going on. I thought I was just being observant. I thought the voice in my head was just narrating my experience. I didn't know. But when I break down this to you like I just did, you can't say you don't know no more. And so when you experience that, that's what adulthood means. Adulthood just means you got to correct your own error in thinking, and your mama and your daddy not coming to help you. But being an adult does not mean not having fun, not playing, not being curious. It don't mean none of that, right? And you actually get to play a lot more when you ask yourself better questions, right? When you ask yourself shitty questions, it's like you just gave up your ability to play and have fun. But so much fun and so much potential comes to you when you ask yourself positive questions. You open yourself up for more instead of closing yourself off to less when you ask poor questions, right? And so what I want to leave you with before I hop on out this thing right now is what I just said. I wrote it down, but I already said it, which is ask yourself better questions. And I have a whole teaching on that, just like this video, which talks about what are better questions, how do we access them, and all of that good stuff. So I'm dropping that link right now. Watch that video, asking better questions. But I got 3 questions that I want you to look at right here, right now, that look at your body, mind, soul complex, which is, why am I so good at receiving? That's a really great question. When you ask yourself that, you don't have to go out of your way to receive more. You're just going to receive more. Because remember, when you press the X button, it passes the ball. When you press the circle button, it shoot. It's simple. Okay? The next question is, why is it so easy to accept and connect with myself? Again, that's going to open you up for more self-trust instead of self-abandonment. Because if you keep asking yourself why I suck, and then if you ask yourself questions like, man, why I suck, why I can't get it, and then get mad at your own self for bringing the opportunities for yourself to show you how you suck, that's nuts. That's crazy. So instead of using all of that energy to create all of that stress and that tension, just ask yourself better questions, bro. And then the last question is, how can I surrender more and let go? I'm out this thing. Until next time, I love you. Peace out.